What's up, guys? Time for a news
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Guys, we talk a lot of shit on nostalgia and how it's ruining all entertainment. But we have to make a huge exception for Mr. Rogers because the man was a goddamn saint who genuinely cared about children and worked his entire life to teach kids valuable life lessons on his TV show, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. He also almost single-handedly is responsible for saving public broadcasting in this country all the way back in the 60s.
by guilt-tripping and shaming people the way it should be done.
By successfully testifying in front of Congress about why children need educational non-commercial content.
Shame.
And unlike so many of our youth's heroes who were later revealed to be less than admirable, Fred Rogers' legacy remains squeaky clean 15 years after his death.
So it's no surprise at all that Fred Rogers is going to be getting the biopic treatment. He has that documentary coming out too. It screened at Sundance. People loved it. He's getting the biopic treatment just like so many other American heroes have. This news comes right on the heels of, like we mentioned before, the documentary. People now, more than ever, crave the calm, comforting, encouraging voice of Mr. Rogers. He's just he missed out on that ASMR market by like that much.
It's true.
Who better to fill the role of playing Mr. Rogers than America's dad, Tom Hanks?
Oh, yeah.
Another one of the few famous faces out here who seems to be genuinely a decent person.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, when we heard the news, we were a little weirded out, mostly because Tom Hanks doesn't really look like Mr. Rogers at all, but he's a great actor and a great choice for the role.
I can suspend my disbelief.
I can too. I'll do anything for Tom Hanks except see the movies that followed that, what was the fucking movie about the
Angels
books?
and Demons?
Da Vinci Code
Yeah.
sequels? Pass. Sorry, Tom.
Anyway, the movie's gonna be called You Are My Friend, and it's gonna be specifically about the unlikely friendship between Rogers and a cynical, jaded journalist, not us, in the later periods of his life. That journalist, Tom Junod, was assigned to write a piece about Mr. Rogers for Esquire in 1998, which he wasn't really stoked about, but the resulting article is truly a must-read. We'll leave a link to it down in the description. It's a very long read, but it really dives deep into Mr. Rogers' life, and you will definitely come away from it with a tremendous amount of respect for the guy, maybe even a few tears. He was a truly remarkable person, and we very much look forward to this film.
And back to the cynical world of entertainment news, though. Because hardcore DC fans have come up with a new and exciting way to show the world that they're completely delusional and insane.
Yay!
So Black Panther's coming out real soon, and of course everyone who got to see advanced screenings of it said it was great, and why shouldn't it be? It looks like a great movie. I listened to the soundtrack, the parts that they've released this week, fantastic. Everyone that I trust online that's seen it says it's fantastic. Anyways, Marvel has a pretty excellent track record already, so it would be weird if this wasn't good. Black Panther has a great director and a great cast. It would be shocking if people didn't like this movie. But we digress. Fans of the DCEU have finally had enough with movie reviewer Illuminatis always giving DC movies bad reviews and Marvel movies good reviews. And they've come up with a plan to fix that by mass downvoting the audience score for Black Panther on Rotten Tomatoes. Diabolical. What would the Joker do? That's what WWJD stands for, right?
Oh, how will they ever recover from my mass downvoting of Rotten Tomato scores?
Yeah, it's a good Joker impression.
Yeah. So here's the description from one Facebook group set up to review bomb Black Panther. Given the massive success of the audience review rigging on the Rotten Tomatoes site for Star Wars The Last Jedi,
They're still on that?
and due to the sudden rise in those disgruntled with Disney business practices among other factors, especially due to the corporate manipulations which created falsified bad press for the DCEU.
This was written by the worst lawyer ever.
I feel that it's time to strike back at all those under Disney and bring down the House of Mouse's actions for paying off the critics, the DC Comics on film or other parties affected by them. I'll be making events like this for Infinity War and the Netflix shows, etc., so we can rally together to truly make a difference. Share this with your friends and all potential sympathizers. P.S. If you want to spread spoilers to Marvel fanboys, use this event as a platform to inform us of targets. How will we ever recover?
They should probably hit up the Rick and Morty fans. They're not doing nothing.
It's between seasons.
You
They
guys
need
like
it.
getting angry, right?
Here we go.
So yeah, there you have it. A completely level-headed response to a movie franchise being successful. Anytime you start to worry that maybe you're a loser with no life, just think about what Elliot just read and find some comfort in knowing that you're not that much of a loser. Also, if you were wondering whether it was just a weird coincidence that all this anger is being directed specifically at the MCU's first black superhero standalone movie, no. It's pretty racist, too. The website Inverse reached out to the group's creator in Facebook Messenger, and he told them he's doing this because of Disney's efforts to shove SJW messages down our throats, and that, quote, minorities should stay that way. Holy fucking shit. Woo! This is about a movie. So, yeah. Guys, we've laid off the politics a lot recently, but I don't really see this as a political issue. This is just bad optics.
Luckily, though, this seems to be just a few thousand people on Facebook. Still too many, but of course, this is going to have absolutely no effect.
I'd love to see the targeting that they did on those ads to get people to rally around this.
This could just be the Russians. Who knows?
Oh, maybe it is.
Big if true.
We've already successfully divided the political system in America.
Democrats, Republicans, Marvel, DC.
How can we take it a step further? What is harder?
Dimitri, this is a great idea.
What is harder than separating the political parties and turning each other against one another in the United States? Oh, I know, a new challenge. DC fans versus Marvel fans. With zero implications.
Genius.
Yeah.
But of course, it's going to have absolutely no effect on anything. Their efforts are going to be completely in vain. The whole thing did, however, generate enough press coverage to warrant an official statement from Rotten Tomatoes saying that they obviously do not condone hate speech, and they're going to be keeping an extra vigilant eye on the audience reviews for Black Panther, removing posts and banning users that violate the rules. Which is just sad.
Yeah, their plan is already backfiring.
Yeah. And again, look, we know it's just a small but extremely annoying minority of DC fans behind shit like this. Here's some perspective, though. A couple DC fans in New York just raised over $5,000 for Black Panther movie tickets for little kids in the Bronx.
There
That's
you go.
Cool. See?
Good.
See?
That's more important than the bad thing. One bad thing causes a big good thing. There you go.
Yeah.
Anyways, talking about Marvel stuff, it's technically been a few months since we initially heard the rumors about the Fox-Disney merger. And for that span of time, all the technical bits and pieces of the potential merger and its implications have been going on behind the scenes, or more likely in front of the U.S. government, who has to decide whether or not this would be considered an illegal monopoly. But
big government.
It is moving forward. In the meantime, it's been left to the most important people on Earth to decide if this merger is bad or good, and that is users on Twitter and YouTube movie discussion channels. It's up to them to deliberate the immediate implications of this potentially huge combination of studios.
Dun dun. Obviously, the most talked about issue lays within the superhero brands. Will Marvel Studios allow rated R movies like Logan and Deadpool to enter production, or be toned down, Disneyed up a bit, in order to fit in with the rest of their project? Well, the people involved in those productions have posted jokes or hypothetical situations, but we hadn't really heard too much about the future of Marvel Studios as a whole when combined with Fox from anyone at a senior level. Until now.
Set phasers for disappointment. As you'd probably expect, Kevin Feige doesn't actually know too much about what's going on either.
Oh.
Sad. We believe him too. There's no reason that he would be brought into high-level meetings
He's
based
busy.
on... Yeah, he's doing a lot of stuff. Now, while he was doing interviews for Black Panther, he was obviously asked about...
While he was passing bribes around.
Yeah. Hey,
that's what you mean.
there you go. This is from the government. He was obviously asked about what the merger might mean for Marvel Studios, and he responded first with the fact that he hadn't even heard about the merger until it hit the press, saying, "I read about it in the press, like most people did." Okay, Kevin, but what about Marvel Studios doing an X-Men movie or something?
What about the X-Men?
Spill the beans, Kevin.
Well, sorry, too bad. He apparently is still in the dark about that whole thing, too, adding, the truth of the matter, as I understand it, is the deal has to be figured out. There's been no communication. We're not thinking about it. We're focusing on everything we've already announced. If and when the deal actually happens, we'll start to think more about it. Until then, we have a lot to do.
He's a busy man.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we really do have to just dwell in the realms of crossover fan fiction and hypotheticals for a little while longer as we wait to hear anything about the future of Fox's Marvel properties. The only thing we currently know for sure is that Gambit has been delayed yet again.
It's production, it's the day it was supposed to start production, as we could have all seen this coming, has been stricken from the record.
Poof.
When Gore Verbinski can't save a movie, who do you turn to?
Yeah, sorry guys. No Gambit again. For now. maybe ever. But yeah, let's get into trailers so we can talk about things that are actually happening.
Yeah, we're about to get a ton of trailers this Sunday because of some foosball game. I'm kidding. I'll probably watch
The
it.
Superb Owl.
Yes. Though half of them will probably be short teasers of trailers that are going to be released slightly later because that's how things work now, sadly. We have teasers for trailers for movies. There you go. Lucasfilms has already gone on record saying that Solo, the trailer for Solo, I know you're all waiting for it, will not be debuting at the Super Bowl, but rather the next day on Good Morning America.
You'll probably get 10 seconds of like, it's finally here. Tomorrow. Solo. Yeah, title card. Oh my god, did you see the font?
Hey, were you watching Good Morning America this morning? No.
Oh, does it work?
Oh, well, they showed a Solo thing. Cool. Was it on the internet 5 minutes later?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Anyways, it's an odd choice to put it on Good Morning America. The only reason it makes sense is because Disney owns ABC.
Oh, yeah.
Makes sense. We're a family, just like
Yeah.
Fox will soon be. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the biggest one that we've been all curious about. So we'll have to wait just a little bit longer. Monday morning, though, in your hungover stupor,
Yeah.
as you drag yourself out of bed and into work, you'll get to see some Solo stuff.
Some Solo,
Yeah.
some Lando, maybe some Chewie.
You never know.
One thing we will most definitely be seeing on Sunday is a new full trailer for Dundee, Son of a Legend Returns, which is unfortunately not a real movie.
It's sad.
At this point, they're just rubbing salt in the wound by revealing footage of what would probably be a great comedy film if it were to actually exist.
Possibly the best comedy film trailer I've seen in a long time, so...
This week, they released an even longer fake trailer for the fake movie that's actually just an advertisement for Australia's Tourism Bureau, and it features not only Danny McBride as the unlikely American son of Crocodile Dundee, but also pretty much every other major Australian actor working today. You got Chris and Liam Hemsworth, Hugh Jackman, Margot Robbie, Ruby Rose, Russell Crowe, Isla Fisher, and also a few Australians that we're not too familiar with, probably really
You
important
guys
over
probably
there.
love them. They're always down there with the Hungry Jack hanging out with all their fans.
But yeah, it looks great. I hope they realize that, hey, this might be worth just going ahead and making.
Yeah,
at this
everyone.
point.
Hey, I speak for the country of the United States of America, and when I say this, I mean it. That we are not going to visit Australia out of spite because of this trailer. We do not like being fooled.
Ever since that goat died.
Yeah, Gary the Goat.
Gary the Goat.
I'll never go to Australia. They let Gary the Goat die, and now they want to play games. They want to play games with Hollywood, making fake movies.
Come on.
Australia, you are a naughty, naughty country.
You naughty cunt. 3.
They do like saying cunt.
They do.
In the meantime, Marvel this week released the first trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp. And as the title suggests, Paul Rudd as Ant-Man is back. And this time, he's got a sidekick, the Wasp, played by Evangeline Lilly, who has wings. Also, Michael Douglas, he's back too. Thank God. Shrinking entire buildings and wheeling them around like luggage. It's a cool aesthetic. As for the plot, or really any information beyond what you learned from the title, who the hell knows? There's going to be a lot of fighting and cars and shrinking and saving people's lives, and also a giant Hello Kitty Pez dispenser.
Cool.
And we'll probably find out more about the story at some point between now and the movie's release on July 6th, but I think it looks fucking awesome. It's like, why does downsizing as a movie even exist when you've got Ant-Man at the Wasp? It looks like they're going to have a blast.
Getting all small,
With
getting
this
big.
with this movie, the way that they're, I love it.
Changing the size.
It's like if Honey I Shrunk the Kids was an action movie.
Yeah.
Totally on board.
R.I.P. Ant.
Yeah.
Next up, the trailer for the upcoming Netflix original movie, Mute, from writer-director Duncan Jones. This actually takes place within the same universe as his first movie, Moon, and it was the first of the 2 scripts to be written by him.
I hope there's a ton of Sam Rockwells running around the entire time.
I hope so. Spoiler. Anyway, it's a future sci-fi movie. It's got a very heavy Blade Runner vibe. It takes place in Berlin in the year 2052. It stars Alexander Skarsgård as a bartender who can't talk. He's mute, and he's looking for his missing girlfriend. Along the way, he encounters Paul Rudd with a ridiculous mustache and Justin Theroux with a ridiculous hairdo. That's all I really know so far, but this comes to Netflix in just a few weeks, February 23rd.
Next, the first trailer for Steven Soderbergh's Unsane. Soderbergh keeps saying he's going to retire from filmmaking, but thankfully he keeps changing his mind. The reason for delaying his retirement in this case was his decision to try and shoot an entire movie using an iPhone camera. And yeah, while it certainly looks low budget, it's pretty impressive how far phone cameras have come. Anyway, Unsane is a psychological thriller about a woman who's being stalked and then ends up being mistakenly committed to an insane asylum where her stalker, again, finds her. Except, she might just be crazy. it might just all be in her head. Unsane comes to theaters this March.
Also in horror, Hereditary from A24, which had people at Sundance saying it's one of the best horror movies ever made, which,
They say that every year.
yeah, it's suspiciously high praise, but A24 does have a pretty stellar track record with highbrow indie
I can't wait to see all the Anna Purina fans on Facebook banding together to protest A24 movies. By God.
Anyways, don't even joke, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's A24 horror. I mean, I'm already interested. Judging from the trailer, it's going to be at least very, very creepy and unsettling. And the plot, super vague based on the trailer. Good thing, probably. It seems to be about a family whose life starts completely falling apart in some sort of supernatural way after the grandmother of the family dies. There's people bleeding and catching on fire, and yeah, it just looks intense. So this comes out in June.
Which is an odd month for a horror movie.
Yeah, nice.
Usually like
hot horror.
January, February, and then obviously September and October. But June.
June.
Sure.
June's the scariest month.
There's no sequels to Independence Day or Transformers this year. We got to have some horror movies.
Nope.
And you know what? God bless us for it. In TV horror, there's a new teaser for the Hulu series Castle Rock, a series from J.J. Abrams in which all of Stephen King's stories exist in the same universe and the same small town in Maine. Please leave if you live there.
Yeah, we should move.
Yeah. Wow. It even features previous Stephen King character actors like Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise and Sissy Spacek as Carrie. As for what the central plot will be, that's unclear. But the idea of a town featuring all of Stephen King's ideas interacting with each other sounds damn good to us and probably terrible for the people of Maine.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
What a town. And finally, the Purge series may have started off as a straight horror thing, but it's really found its stride in its sequels with equal parts horror and ridiculous social commentary. And the teaser for the latest, The First Purge, has the subtlety of a damn sledgehammer.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Rather than movie footage, the teaser feels like an ad from a political action committee showing real Americans doing real American things with a twangy, deep voice narration about America. And it ends with the title, The First Purge, written in all caps on a red baseball cap.
Seems familiar.
Woo! So, we do have to give Blumhouse and Universal Pictures credit for not giving a single fuck and just saying go to print with that.
How dare they? Anyways, that's it for this week's episode of News Dump. We'll see you Monday morning at 11:30 a.m. for the live show. In the meantime, check out some other stuff that we did this week, including a brand new episode of Weekly Weird News and a brand new episode of Tech News Day. Check out both of those. Follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/etc_show. Links and everything in the description below. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.